lisp, so she's really fucking meanie, and so she can't say anything properly. She's always like, hello, Charlie, this is Seneca. And I always fuck with her, I'm like, hello, Seneca. It's healthy. And she's like, you're saying it wrong. I'm like, no, you're saying it wrong. How do you say it? And my sister will get on the phone, she's like, that's not fucking funny, okay? She's 4. Really? You're being sarcastic with a 4-year-old? I'm like, it's called sarcasm, Simone. Put her back on the phone, please. I mean, she's so cute, and she's got this tushy, you know, and she always pulls her tushy out, like, you know, to show me when I see her, because that's like, they always know, like, oh, if I show Chelsea my tushy, and so she always pulls the tushy, she's like, tushy, tushy, and I always come over and, you know, rub it, and I'm like, When they're 4, it's fine, you know, when they're like 7, which she is now, it's like not that cool, and especially when you're out to like a restaurant, and then she's like, Chelsea, tushy. I'm like, put your fucking jeans back on. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't ruin our plan. Your mom's gonna say, shut up, put those jeans back on, pull them up. My sister's like, what the fuck is going on over there? I'm like, nothing. And she goes, you can't do that anymore. It's not funny. I'm like, it's not funny. You're right. So then we go back home and like, meet me upstairs in Seneca. And we go upstairs and we're in a private room and, you know, she gets undressed and she's like running around naked and she's like, tushy, tushy, tushy. And my sister will walk in and be like, what the fuck are you doing? This is like kiddie porn, okay? Why are you videotaping this? I'm like, I'm dressed, okay? So nothing's gonna happen. By the way, her preschool was called My Special Spot, so Google that and get back to me. Sick bitch. I love fat people. It's like people ask how I met Chewy. I'm like, I saw him, and I saw those little bow-legged chicken McNugget legs, and I was like, oh my god, I wanted to, you know, it took everything out of me not to straddle him and just like fucking hold him down like a thigh master. Like, come here. With his little, you know, Oompa Loompa ass and his misshapen head and his sausage fingers, you know, and he walks and it sounds like Donkey Kong. It's like, I like fat cats. Those are the only kind of cats I like, fat ones. And I like dogs. I have a dog now, but I'm not really an animal person. I just kind of, I saw a dog. My friend was like, you have to rescue this dog. And I was like, all right, I guess I should. She goes, you don't do, you know, you should have an animal. I mean, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll get an animal. And his name is Chunk, and that's because I named him Chunk. I saw him, and everything I love, I call Chunk. I call Chewy Chunk, I call my mom Chunk when she was alive. I call anybody that's meaty and fat that I want to snuggle with, I call Chunk. So my ex-boyfriend was Ted, and I called him Chunk too. He was shorter, and I was like, so I brought him home to my ex-boyfriend, and my ex-boyfriend's like, why do my earrings keep fucking falling out? What an untogether performer. And so I brought my dog home, and this was when I was like starting to think like maybe I hate my boyfriend. You know when you're living with somebody and you're like, I think I might hate you.
Another feeling.
And then you're like, oh, you're so annoying. And they start to eat, and you're like, no, I don't hate them. I'm just gonna take some space. And then you're like, no, I think I do. I think I hate you. And then they start to eat, and the way they eat annoys you. And you're like, oh. Why are you putting so much salsa on that fucking chip? What kind of pig are you? Get that fucking salsa in your mouth. What if somebody steals our salsa, you fucking fat fucking pig? He'd be like, what? I'm like, nothing, I didn't say anything. But you know when you're breaking up with someone and you don't, it's a stage. Like first you're like, oh, I have these thoughts, and you're like, no, go away, that's not nice, I'm not gonna break up. And then after like a month goes by, you're like, no, I really hate you now. And everything they fucking do annoys you, and everything. And so I got this dog, obviously in hindsight, because I was like, oh, I need somebody like a buffer, like so I brought this dog home. I'm like, this is our dog. His name is Chunk, and he's a rescue. He's like, Chelsea, how could you not discuss getting a dog with me? I'm like, because I don't fucking give a shit about you and what you think. Fuck you. This is Chunk. He goes, but I'm Chunk. I'm like, from now on, I'm always talking to the dog. And I brought him home, and he's like trying to bond with Chunk, and Chunk's looking at him like rolling his eyes. He's like, and my dog is the worst asshole. He hates everybody, and that's why I love him. And he's looking at Ted, and Ted's looking at Chunk, and I look at Chunk, I'm like, don't worry, I'm gonna get us out of this mess. I did. And I did because I saw Chunk go to the bathroom, and there's nothing. There is nothing. It's humiliating to go to the bathroom if you're anyone. I mean, guys obviously don't think it's a big deal because they're just like, oh, let me go drop a dude. They don't think it's anything. I mean, women lie. We lie for 2 years into a relationship about it. We will go to a bathroom around the corner at a 7-Eleven that's with a key attached to a minivan before we admit that we took a shadoobie in your house. We don't even admit what is that? It sounds disgusting. We would never do that. I'm Jewish. I don't even know what that means. But when you see a dog go to the bathroom, and it is the most humiliating spectacle. It's like, oh my God, that is horrifying. Can you imagine as an adult you have to go and take a shadoobie like that in front of people on a lawn and then have somebody clean it up for you? Awful. And so I was with Ted, and we had this dog, and I was like, and to give you background about Ted, he's very anal retentive, and he's 20 years older than me, and he runs the network I'm on, and so people, and he was but when I met him, I was like, oh my God, I had my show, and I was like, oh, this is a big man, and I was excited by him, and then slowly I was like, oh my God, you're so annoying, and you're so anal retentive. And to give you some background, like, we found out Chewy was in a porn.
Ew.
Way before he met me. And he was in a porn, and I was like, no matter what, don't let Ted find out, because he won't think it's funny at all. Don't let him find out. So it wasn't a big deal, and then all of a sudden, it got leaked on some websites, and Ted called me on the phone, and I was in my car one morning, and he's like, Chelsea, this is Ted. I'm like, yeah, I know who it is. I live with you. What? And I have caller ID. Like, what is this, Larry King? Caller, go ahead? Can you hear me now? Oh, I mean, really? What? And he goes, I need you to pull over. I need you to pull over. I go, no, you know what, Ted? Don't tell me to pull over, okay? I had a brother who passed away and a mother who passed away. Don't tell me to pull over. What is it? You're already fucking annoying me. And he goes, Chewy was in a pornographic video. And I'm like, Ted, I need you to pull over. He's a Mexican midget. What the fuck else is he supposed to do? I hope he makes another one. But he would never I would play jokes on him all the time. I would be like, oh, I broke my collarbone, I can't do the show today. He's like, what hospital are you at? I'm like, I'm not. I just played this joke on you a week ago. He's like, Chelsea, I don't have time for this. I'm like, you do. You keep answering your phone, you idiot. And he was just so annoying, and I was doing, and then I had to do this Shape magazine shoot, and I couldn't drink for 3 weeks because I had to get really lean, and work out, and I didn't drink, and like, what happens to a person when they do drugs for the first time is what happens to me when I don't drink. Like, I was like hallucinating. I was like seeing unicorns, I'm like, oh my God, and rainbows, I'm like, what the fuck? And I woke up one morning, I'm like, I can't take it anymore, I'm leaving, I'm taking the dog, and I'm out. And he's like, Chelsea, you haven't been drinking in 3 weeks, you're not thinking clearly. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, oh, really? So we went on this vacation, this is like 2 weeks before, and I was leading up to it, and we went on this vacation, and just FYI, if you're thinking about breaking up with somebody, fucking do it, because that's when your life begins. Don't worry about homes or children, maybe, but don't worry about that. You need to live your life, and this has been the best year of my life because I'm single. So we go on this mini like weekend. He goes, okay. I go, so can I bring a bunch of friends? Because I always bring friends with me, every time. And he goes, no, I think we should be alone. I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna go well. And it was his birthday weekend, and we were going down to like Laguna Beach. He's like turning 50 or some shit, and I was like, oh, what a buzzkill this is gonna be. So we go down, and we're in Laguna Beach at this beautiful hotel. We're lying out, by the pool, and he eats something, and he's like, he goes, we gotta go back to the room. I go, why do we have to go back to the room? He's like, Chelsea, this is a partnership? I'm like, why do I have to watch you get diarrhea? Why do I have to watch that? I'm like, you're ruining my perfectly good time. So we go back to the room, and he's running back and forth in the bathroom, in a tidy whities, and I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. And I'm watching some fucking J-Lo movie on Lifetime. It's always a J-Lo movie. I always end up watching a J-Lo movie because it's the only fucking person I will never pay to see in a theater. So I end up seeing every fucking movie, and I love it. So he's running back and forth to the bathroom. He's running back and forth. I'm like, oh, take this, take an Imodium, whatever. And all of a sudden I see like a piece of chocolate cake from his birthday from the night before, and we had like taken a bite out of it the night before, but it was left over. And I'm looking at the chocolate cake and I'm like, that could be funny. Okay, but that's mean. But wait. So he's going back and forth, and then he goes back to the bathroom, and I run up and fucking grab a piece of the cake and just wipe it on the bed where he's lying down. Like,
Look at that.